be doors.
A pit maneuver bringing a chase to a screeching halt. Police chasing a stolen car with teens inside. And it may be no surprise that car was a Kia. Yes, the Kia boys are at it again. Last summer, 19 investigator Kelly Kennedy showed you how the crooks are using social media to promote their criminal activity. New at 10 o'clock, she explains how these thieves are now finding new ways to make stealing these cars even easier.
So believe it or not, all it takes is one of these tiny devices. Crooks can use this to steal the signal when you use your key fob to unlock your door. And then they can unlock your car too. And it only takes a few seconds to work.
I'm still in pursuit of the vehicle. The back door, it's lost 2 tires now. We're still westbound. It's in the oncoming traffic lanes.
You're watching Lakewood Police dash cam video of a high-speed chase with teenagers in a stolen Kia early Tuesday morning. At least 3 kids were arrested, and police found a gun in the car.
Pit, bailing.
Besides committing crimes in real life, the Cleveland Kia boys are on Instagram, and they're not shy about sharing how they commit their crimes. Now they're promoting and selling this new device that they say makes it easy to steal a Kia without even breaking a window. So I called up cybersecurity expert Paul Sems with TrustedSec.
So they were recording a signal?
He knew exactly what the device was, and he even had one.
It's a scary time that we live in.
He says the devices hit the market about 4 years ago.
Yep, it worked. It's not too surprising that they're already using them for these types of reasons. When they came out, these devices were actually banned by certain countries, and they were like, hey, we're going to have import restrictions and not allow them. But the reality is if someone really wants to make one of these, they can make these with quote-unquote off-the-shelf parts.
But they are legal in the United States.
So it's the same thing with like a lock-picking kit. If you're a locksmith, you're allowed to buy locksmithing tools. If you're a private citizen, you're allowed to have locksmithing tools. As soon as you use that device in the execution of a crime, it now becomes a criminal tool.
For someone to steal your signal, they have to be within about 30 feet of you when you unlock your car with your fob.
It's literally an FM radio signal or an AM radio signal. It's just at a specific frequency.
Sem says if your key fob is acting up, that could be a sign that someone's trying to steal your signal.
The automakers need to do more to provide higher levels of encryption, spend a few more dollars on those remotes, make sure that they have a better encryption system on them. There's known vulnerabilities to them and people are taking advantage of it.
So the people who would be most at risk are Kia owners and people who have some cars made before 2009. Now, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot you can do to protect yourself from this, except being aware of your surroundings when you unlock your car. Kelly Kennedy, 19 News.
All right, people, check this out. So you saw the video. The Kia boys are at it again. These guys have high-tech technology. They are stealing cars. I don't know how they're getting the technology. The news anchor doesn't know how they're getting the technology. But somehow, some way, they have the tech and they are stealing the cars. Here's the deal. When it comes to Kias, like the car brand, for the most part, I don't know the major buyers, but in most major cities, women are the majority buyers of Kias. They are, cheap and easy to maintain. So a lot of women do buy these cars. Here's the deal. I mention this because if you are dating a woman, you might be dating a woman who's driving a easy to steal car like a Kia. I have seen a woman get her car stolen in this exact manner because she didn't listen to her boyfriend. Story time. I'm walking around my neighborhood, getting my steps in, getting my cardio and everything like that. And there's another couple who lives in my apartment complex who is, they're doing the same. Now, I don't know why these guys were arguing, but at some point in time, they start arguing and they're on their way to the mailbox. Now, they're going to the mailbox and this woman steps off the curb. She goes to step off the curb and the boyfriend goes to grab her and snatch her back because there's a car coming. She steps off the curb in between 2 cars. She doesn't see the car about to hit her. He goes to snatch her. She jerks away and says, "Ew, don't touch me." He saves her from the car and they go check the mail. Now, she does not acknowledge that he saved her. So she gets even more irritated, basically doubling down on whatever she's mad about. And they check the mailbox and then they start heading back. Now, I'm headed back kind of at the same time as them. They live like around the mod from me. And there's a guy in the parking lot and he's revving his engine. He has like a Charger or a Challenger or something like that. And he's revving his engine real loud enough and hard enough to make the cars sound their alarms. So the cars start going off. They start sounding their alarms, and she reaches for her keys to go turn off her alarm. And I kid you not, the boyfriend said, whoa. Don't do that. Just take a picture of the car. I'm going to call the cops. And she says, what? Like she's mad at him, very disgusted. She had this really indignant look on her face. And he says, don't turn off your alarm. Just take a picture of the car and I'm going to call the cops. And she says, whatever. And she starts trying to turn off her alarm. And he goes to kind of push her hand down. And once again, she snatches away from him and says, don't touch me, in this really loud voice, like she's trying to, kind of cause a scene. And she keeps trying to turn off the alarm. And finally it goes off. And he just, he gives up. He rolls his eyes. He walks away. They go into their apartment. 2 days later, her car gets stolen. He told her to her face that these people were trying to steal her car, because obviously he knows about this. I've known about this for a while. And, he was up on game, and he tried to help her. She wouldn't listen. This is very common. Whether you're trying to help a woman not get hit by a car while she's crossing the street because she's too engulfed in her cell phone, or if you're trying to keep her from getting her house broken into, or you're trying to keep her from getting her car stolen, a lot of times women's emotions will get in the way of you protecting her. If you cannot protect that woman with words and sound instruction, you can't protect her at all. Out of all the things that you might give to a woman, there's only 3 that truly matter: protection, instructions, and provision. You provide for that woman mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, stuff like that. But you also have to give her sound instruction. If she does not take sound instruction, you can't protect her. You would be a fool to protect someone who rejects your sound instruction. And I see a lot of men getting into relationships with women like this who you can't even tell them how to cross the street when they're about to get their head knocked off. Then you try to tell them, hey, this dude is stealing signals. Like, the guy clearly knew that the man in the car was revving the engine to get the cars to go off, so that when you turn off your car, he can steal those signals. And there was only 2 Kias, and only her car got stolen a couple days later. Now, I don't know if he took it from the apartment complex or if he followed her to the grocery store or something like that. But either way, she no longer has a car, and she would have a car if she would have listened to her boyfriend. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is, when it comes down to it, when it comes down to trying to help people, you can only help people with words. You can't force help upon them. You can't force success upon a person. If a person's going to step off the curb and get hit by a car, that's on them, right? This woman almost got hit by that car because she didn't want to listen to her boyfriend. And when he tried to save her, and she clearly recognized that she almost died, she was indignant. She doubled down on her own ignorance and her own emotions. Then he's trying to save her from getting her car stolen. And what happens? She gets her car stolen. There's not a whole lot to this. If you guys are in the parking lot and you see people sitting in a car, go ahead and use the analog key, the physical key, if your car still has that. Don't be dumb. Know that these people have technology. I don't know where they're getting it. No one knows where they're getting it, but they have it. Go ahead and keep your head on a swivel. If you have women in your life, girlfriend, wife, sister, mother, tell them about this kind of stuff. And if they're with you, give them the instruction. Say, hey, don't do this, don't do that, right? Look both ways when you're crossing the street. Give them the basic instructions. But when they forsake that basic instruction, you got to let them suffer the consequence. Otherwise, there's always a chance that you'll end up paying the price that was meant for them. So there's not really a whole lot to this. I'm not going to beat it into the dirt. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll get back at you on the next one. Peace.